One of Buffy is so much fun. It is filled with that 90s cheesiness that I just cannot get enough of. And some of the episodes, they are, and we'll get into this when we talk into individual episodes, but some of these episodes are so aware that what they're doing is so cheesy, and it just kind of rolls with it. Really cool kind of horror vibes that kind of get lost after season 2. A lot of the cinematography is very, eerie. A lot of it's late at night. There's lots of shadows. There's lots of eerie music. The score is like definitely more of a horror score. And a lot of the tropes they're sending up are like fun, kind of cheesy 80s and 90s horror tropes. Some of these episodes really feel like little B-grade 90s horror movies. And I really love that feel.
A lot of it is nostalgia, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's kind of cheesy, but it's entertaining cheese. I still think season 1's the weakest season. I enjoy season 1, who's a little bit of a stalker the way it comes across, and
yeah, he's a little bit
dressed like a bit of a like sexy nightclub bouncer or something. I mean, that fashion. Where did you get the fashion sense?
Years that we have seen before, but they kind of turn them on their head. Like, I love the Praying Mantis episode that she's going after virgin boys. It's such a nice spin on the whole, you must sacrifice a virgin female, So again, it's kind of like this predatory female creature coming after virgin boys. It kind of, there's quite a few instances, I think, in season 1 where you do see, these metaphors being produced and these storylines being turned on their heads that, again, they definitely fine-tune much better in later seasons. Nightmares, for example. They do that again with Fear itself in season 4. And I would say Nightmares is just as effective as Fear itself, which pretty much, Oh, it is, though.
No,
it's
not.
That scene where
Nightmares
Buffy's dad... where Buffy's dad tells her that she's the reason that, oh my God, that broke my heart.
Goofy, cheesy episode where you just get all this random stuff happening, and there's no narrative sort of pulling it all together.
Cheesy. I mean, who dreamt up the giant wasps? Like, seriously, who thought that was a good idea? It works. Plus, I love seeing Xander punch the clown in the face. That's fun. Poo-poo all over Nightmares. And yet, I have seen you defend I, Robot, You, Jane. So we gotta sort this out, man, because I don't know how you can defend that pile of crap.
Guilty pleasure, that's all. Guilty pleasure.
I mean, come on. I, Robot, You, Jane, aside from introducing Jenny Calendar, does nothing good.
Yeah, that's a great debut. Very cheesy, and I think a lot of times it's bad cheese. A lot of times.
Oh my God.
Well, okay, for example, I disagree with you about the Praying Mantis episode. I think.
Oh, I love Teacher's Pet.
That episode pretty much sucks. The characters are in Buffy. I enjoy their banter and their interactions. I think normally, even in a bad episode, where the central idea or gimmick of the episode is bad, you normally still quite enjoy watching the episode just because of the Scoobies.
Definitely. Yeah.
The Robot You Jane thing. It's a guilty pleasure. It might be my love for B movies and sort of robot style things.
Yeah.
So it's just tickles my fancy. I accept, and it's a bit of a naff, goofy episode, but there's just something about it that tickles my fancy for being an early precursor for online social media, even though they go to some ridiculous places. The whole conceit is really silly. I mean, I keep forgetting that it actually starts in Romania years ago.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck is this opening? So it's a guilty pleasure. I accept it.
Fair enough. Absolutely love when Willow says, I met him online, and Buffy's like, online for what? And it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah. I do also enjoy Willow fighting back at the end of the episode. Where she says, I think it might be time we broke up. Smash it. Because Moloch. Oh man, I felt
Moloch.
so bad for Moloch. Those eyes. when he actually gets hurt, when she's saying, "I'm not your girlfriend.
Oh
I'll
my
never." He's actually got like sad eyes on.
No, he's a robot. He's a big
Yeah,
demon-horned robot. It looks
yeah, but that's
ridiculous.
why it's meant to be. You can tell that's what they're going for. As cheesy as it is, I do agree. It's very watchable.
I like the Master. I think he really works for this season because he's cheesy and he's hammy. He feels like an old kind of Hammer horror villain, He's all like, rise, and over the top. And Mark Metcalf is obviously it's Mark Metcalf,
He's
right?
good actor,
he's obviously having
He's
like the best time.
Sort of entry level type vampire, just as you said, a bit more traditional, a bit more like Hammer horror, definitely campy, hammy, very entertaining.
I like his lair as well. I like the design of his lair under the hellmouth. It's very gothic-y, very creepy, of the tunnels and like the pool of blood and everything. The aesthetics in season 1 are pretty cool. Really embrace a lot of like really cheesy visuals that have like fallen by the wayside, like Witch, for example, the episode Witch. I love that she has a cauldron.
I enjoy
Witch has a cauldron now. You have the cauldron and the bubbling green goo in the cauldron. It's like
I agree. This,
No,
I'm not saying everything. I'm just saying certain things. The best stuff in Witch is Giles hamming it up when he's doing that spell. When he puts that
right?
It's like, release! Release! I crack up every time I see that.
So good. No, I'm with you.
Release the unworthy. Release! Release! Release!
Witch, okay? Like the girl whose mouth like closes up, like that scene is really like, dude, no. I mean, bad special effects.
It's a bad effect,
But the idea of what's going on with that, I'll see it doesn't bother me. Or even Cordelia going blind. The pack, I find the pack really sinister. Like, I actually love the pack. Like, she seems really weird. I mean, what kind of a name is Buffy anyway? Hey, Aphrodisia. Oh, hey. And it's like, who called their kid Aphrodisia?
Cliche, clueless type. Like,
yes, the Valley.
Like she says nay, doesn't she?
Pause. It's like, who speaks like that? Yeah. Like this invisible girl just walking around the school. The bat scene I actually find quite disturbing when she beats Mitch up with the bat. And then the fact that she was going to disfigure Cordelia at the end. Like, she wasn't going to kill her. She was actually going to disfigure her.
Pilot, like, when he just slams the book down, I mean, it's a bit, dial it back a bit, Shay.
It's a bit over the top, isn't it, man?
Joy Darla with the guns.
No, what is that?
It's like something out of a Western. It's like,
ridiculous. Oh my God,
it's so fun.
Right then that they really have not established Darla's character, because, like, in what universe is Darla going to use guns?
One of my favourite season 1 episodes is the puppet show.
I love the puppet show.
Get in.
I love the puppet show.
It's so good.
So cheesy and so funny.
The puppet show is great.
Sid the dummy, man. Dummies.
So
I'm with Buffy. They are not cool.
The Marmite episode where you either go with it and enjoy it or you don't, but it's up there for me for season.
The whole dummy thing. There was a Goosebumps book called Night of the Living Dummy, and it had like several sequels. And the dummy in it, Slappy.
Of that.
Yeah, so it really reminded me of that. It gave me that vibe. And I always find, even though I know Sid is a good guy, I always find the scene where he's in Buffy's room really creepy, where you just hear his little feet like run across the floor.
Season 1, because it is so cheesy and so like you said, so 90s and stuff. It does make it a very easy watch. So it has that in its favour, I think.